For a red-hot minute, Paige Van Zandt was the darling of women's MMA. But the former UFC star traded her gloves in for, well, nothing. 12 Gauge tried her hand at professional bare-knuckle boxing, and things didn't go to plan. If you don't like blood, you might want to skip this story. In short, bare-knuckle boxing was last practiced professionally in the 1880s, after being superseded by the gloved Marquis of Queensberry rules, a variant of which boxers still fight under today. And why did gloves take over? The answer might not be what you expect.
Best to see when you get caught, like, I felt it straight away, that overhand right, and I could feel my lips flapping after they split me. I could see all the blood, but it just spurs you on, man. Like, there's nothing better than spitting blood in somebody's face. It's mad, I know it sounds silly, but it's f***ing war, mate.
The most commonly believed myth is that bare-knuckle boxing is nothing more than a barbaric endeavor for bloodthirsty fans of violence and carnage. And while it can, without a doubt, look that way, it's not actually the reason why it fell out of favor with the punters. The first thing you need to know is that the old London prize ring rules of bare-knuckle boxing didn't have a limit on rounds. And the second thing is that punching a skull with a bare knuckle often results in a broken hand. To avoid broken hands, professionals focused more on hitting the body so they could continue to fight. But no headshots or round limits meant bouts could literally go for hours. Ain't nobody got time for that. Instead, the modern Queensberry rules included a time limit, which created more urgency to win, which in turn meant more action. And they added gloves, which meant fighters could more freely aim for the head, which meant far more spectacular and frequent knockouts. Basically, modern boxing was so much more entertaining that the crowds, and most importantly their money, gave up on the bare-knuckle variation. But things have changed. With two major tweaks to the old rule set, we're seeing a comeback for bare-knuckle pugilism. And those tweaks are the addition of round lengths and how many rounds there are. Modern bare-knuckle bouts consist of 3 2-minute rounds, with 5 to 7 round title fights. With just minutes to work, fighters are far more willing to risk breaking a fist by throwing it at a skull. As a result, fights are now much more fast and furious, but bone on bone or flesh leads to far more cuts. But while it looks bad, it's not necessarily worse for their health.
I'd rather be boxing bare knuckle because it causes you superficial damage and not brain damage more. So, you know, I go by a motto of I'd rather be in 10 years' time be able to tell you the stories about the scars on my face than not be able to tell you the stories of the scars on my brain.
It's true that while cuts look far worse, they are not nearly as damaging as the solid blunt force trauma you get a lot of in boxing. And with significantly decreased time in a fight, there's less chances to take those kinds of shots to the head too. But let's be real. There is a lot of blood in modern bare-knuckle boxing, but it's no joke. And thanks to pro boxers like Paulie Malignaggi and UFC fighters like Paige Van Zandt taking it up, we're going to find out if the world is ready for that much color.
This will be the next
this
UFC.
Be UFC, yeah.
Yeah, no, I can look you straight in the face and say this is the next UFC, so watch out.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.